Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about The Ultimatum Season 3, Episode 2.
Listen, we are so close to 4,000 subscribers. Thank y'all for watching our channel, watching our shows, commenting, sharing it, all the above. Can y'all do the same for this show? Can y'all watch it? Can y'all subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above? You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay, so it is dating week.
Yeah.
Nick and Vanessa chat. He enjoys being around her. They both feel like there are layers to each other. She's learning what she wants and needs more of. She talks about how she did a bodybuilding competition and Dave wasn't really into it.
Yeah.
But Nick says that he would have been supportive.
Yeah.
He says that if they do live together, are you okay with incense and sage? Vanessa's cool with that. Just don't give me any cheese because she has a little lactose issue. Nick doesn't care about that, but Dave is grossed out by that. Nick says that he has an abstract lifestyle, but Vanessa can relate to it because she knows that she's quirky as well.
Okay.
He has a lot that works with Sandy, but they do have communication differences. He knows someone would like the weird stuff about him, and he's tired of fighting with Sandy. Vanessa says that he's weird and cool and should be with someone who appreciates his weirdness.
Throughout this conversation, I just have one question, Blair. Do Dave like this girl?
Does Dave like her?
Do Dave like this girl?
Does he like Vanessa?
Yes.
I think so.
How? Because when she had a bodybuilding thing, he didn't support her, right? And other things such as like, her lactose intolerance and things like that, he found her disgusting. So Dave don't like this girl.
I don't know. I think there's fair reasons for both.
Help me how?
If you're lactose intolerant, please stop eating cheese or get some lactose free cheese. I don't know why this has to be a discussion.
But you did not support me doing the bodybuilding.
And secondly, bodybuilding, it changes people's body shapes.
Stop it, Blair.
People should be able to do what they want to do. I'll give you that. But the thing is that some people might have an issue with their person looking different.
We're not doing that, Blair. Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it.
Okay, give Dave all the bail.
No, I'm not giving him no bail, but we're not going to act like if you're into something, as in Blair, and if I am your partner, someone that you want to marry, and if I'm not there to support you, you just going to be like, okay, cool, because, it may change my body or something like that. You would feel some type of way if you're into something, and guess what? Sorry that this doesn't serve you in this moment, but it serves me because I'm into bodybuilding.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that you did not support me.
Yes.
So all I'm hearing through Vanessa, especially with David, as we go see him crying later on this episode, is that David don't like this girl. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, we move on to Dave and Chanel. He's scared about Vanessa catching feelings for someone else. Oh, I also wanted to say one thing. I'm tired of them talking about how weird they are.
Okay.
If you're a weirdo, just be a weirdo. I don't know why we have to call attention to it. I don't know why we have to say we're so quirky. It actually makes it less of a thing. It makes it more of a, why are you trying to be so different? But if they both are into saying that about themselves and that's what draws them together, that's cool, I guess. But it's just annoying.
Okay. You don't like
maybe that's
too.
what they say. Maybe they say that people find them annoying. So maybe I'm one of the many.
You are one of the many that find them annoying. Yes.
So we've got Dave and Chanel. He's scared about Vanessa catching feelings for someone else.
Okay.
Chanel wants to come out of this a better wife. She would be happy to be with someone who was fun, easygoing, willing to show her blind spots. And Dave says he's looking for that as well. He asked if she dated a Jewish guy before. She never has. And then they kind of do the scratching sound because she said he would be her first Jew. I was just like, is she not supposed to say that? Maybe
You're definitely not supposed to say that.
Okay. Yeah. She asked if he kisses people before dating, and he says after 3 or 4 dates, things are pretty much exclusive by that point. It doesn't matter to him who brings up the boyfriend-girlfriend topic, but his ex brought it up first, which he typically brings up first.
Yeah.
She talks about how she gets nervous and has thought about not being here in the process. Dave brought it up first. They would be hurt if their exes got physical with someone else, but he's wondering what is his ex thinking and is still afraid of getting hurt.
One thing I realized that I know we don't really like Vanessa. When I say Vanessa, I'm talking about the host. One thing that she said when she was giving the ultimatum to Nick, she said that it took her a while to eventually look and point the finger to herself because all she kept doing is pointing the finger at Nick you better marry me, you better be with me. All I've seen so far is David pointing the finger at somebody else. I haven't heard nothing about Dave. I haven't heard nothing about him talk about his shortcomings. Only thing I keep hearing about is how his feelings is hurt and how he's feeling and how he's hope his woman is not doing something else, right? But Dave, have you pointed the finger to yourself yet and said, you know what? I need to be better. you know what? Maybe I should have came to that bodybuilding competition. Maybe, well, you know, lactose intolerant, that is grossed out if you eating cheese purposely. And I ain't gonna hold you, right? You should got a little bail to get out of jail for that one, right?
Okay.
But I'm just saying, they just come off as I'm worried about me type of thing, more than him looking at his shortcomings in this whole situation.
Yeah, and I also... Y'all gonna be like, Blair, do you like anybody on the cast?
Not really.
Dave is annoying too.
Okay.
Like, if you're here and you were so big about the ladies being on your body and all this type of stuff, you have a beautiful lady, Chanel, sitting right in front of you.
Very beautiful.
And you are not taking any opportunity to really connect with her. You are worried and crying about what Vanessa's doing.
Yeah.
And fair. I get it. That's your ex now. Y'all just broke up.
Yeah.
But you weren't too concerned about picking your feet up and moving down the altar.
Come on now.
So what are we talking about?
We ain't talking about nothing.
What are we talking about?
We ain't talking about nothing.
So we move on to Mariah and Micah. She asks what's the weirdest thing that he would do in a trial marriage. And he says if they watch a movie and he finds an interesting character, he might impersonate that person's voice.
Okay.
Mariah breaks out and dances. She talks about how she is pretty much a pretty reserved person, but it probably dates back to her childhood, to where she would feel judged if she was too free. She grew up with her mom as a single parent. Her mom struggled, and she really didn't have the freedom to explore. Micah was allowed to ride his bike and venture off, and Mariah thinks that, you know, with him having a different upbringing, maybe he can bring a different perspective to her.
I don't know so much if it's a different background more than, I mean, of course it's a different upbringing because he's black. Okay, so let's just start with that. But I think I don't know how open to the process he's going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Even though I understand they are talking, but the conversation seems 100% platonic. It doesn't feel like there's a connection. It doesn't even feel like I don't know. It feels like it feels like he is tolerating her. And not in like basically you know what, I'm nice and I'm not gonna be mean, but it's just sometimes I make weird voices. But it doesn't seem like he's really letting her in, or like he's opening up to her to where we get to learn more about Micah and things of that nature.
No, I think that Micah, who issued the ultimatum? Chanel issued the ultimatum. But I feel like with Micah, I think he's really into Chanel. And I think that even though because he was the one who was saying that it just wasn't the right timing. They're both 27, 28, just trying to get stable and everything like that. So I think he pretty much knows he wants to be with Chanel, but he really thinks that they need a little bit more time to get stable before marriage. I don't think he's interested in exploring his options.
Yeah, not at all.
So, well, Arya asked Caleb his biggest insecurities. They both joke about their ears. He is not being his biggest fear really is not being able to provide financially. And dang, I forget her name. Is it Arya? I think it's Arya. She doesn't want to feel like she can't do what she wants because she's depending on a man's paycheck to do things. It's not only triggered from her ex, but just life. She wants to be stable in all aspects of her life first. Coming out of this experience, she wants to know her true self and be a happier person. Caleb has a fear of building up someone else while he's trying to build himself up and being replaceable because his ex moved on so quickly from her previous relationship.
And when he said moved on, is he talking about like within the show?
No.
Okay, you talking about like outside the show, like his real ex.
No, he's talking about Mariah.
Okay.
She moved on from her last relationship to get into a relationship with him pretty quickly.
Okay, I need you in the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he feels like she might move on from him just as quickly.
Okay. I don't know why you have that fear. The fear about providing financially, that is a real fear for guys and things of that nature. But I find it very interesting that these people are trying to control things that they can't control. Like, you cannot control if she move on from you and things of that nature. Only thing you can do is just do your part and do your part to its full capacity and then just, like, be at peace with it, you know?
Yeah. Well, we go to the cocktail party. Everyone plays Never Have I Ever. Nick talks about how he faked an orgasm, but not with Sandy. Chanel and Vanessa have a quick chat, and Vanessa just thinks Chanel is perfect and beautiful and calming and just all the things. And she's like, all the guys must be after you. But they're really not. Sandy and JR, she's feeling a bit uneasy about the choice. JR is conflicted. He feels like Sandy would be a risk, but he likes taking risks. Sandy feels that he would be a risk as well because there are safer options.
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know what that means. What do you mean safer options? Like
The only thing I was thinking is I think they think they're going to bone each other. If they get the chance to be alone by themselves, like I think that they think things are going to get crazy physical.
They have nothing else that like makes them like what's the word Blade? They have nothing
compatible
else. Yeah, like there's nothing else that make them compatible at all.
Yeah.
Like only thing they talk about is how like the fire in her eyes and things like that. It's like I don't really understand like what he sees in her. Yeah. Outside of the fact that she looks completely different than the girl that he's with, you know?
Mm-hmm. So Dave is telling Mariah he's been enjoying conversation with her. Mm-hmm. She's inspiring and she can talk to her and he can talk to her about anything.
Okay.
Vanessa goes to Nick and says that she feels the same way because he was having this conversation in front of her. Next, we have Scotty and Zaina. Mm-hmm. Scotty doesn't know why he has to fight to be loved and cared for. He knows he wants to be married. Zaina is glad that he's here. She can see him for who he is, and he deserves someone who is willing to meet him halfway. They end up hugging and connecting over that.
How do you feel about Scotty story? Scotty and Zaina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they're connecting just over the fact that they both gave the ultimatum and they both are ready for marriage and to give and receive that type of love and stability. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a big thing. I think that attraction, compatibility, and different things can grow if you guys want the same things out of life. So I don't think that's a terrible thing that they're connecting over, but I don't think they're doing the extra step of actually learning more about each other. So
I don't trust Scotty's story.
Okay.
It's something about Scotty that puts him in a, I don't know what it is. It just seems like he's very woe is me. Like it just comes off as like, I just want to be loved. And I'm just looking for that. That's all I ever wanted. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, but when I hear his girl's story, it don't sound like, it sounds like there's other things besides like their relationship that is like motivating them not to be married. Mm-hmm. It's like he's like, I want to be loved for me. She's like, I have my mother's whole past that's kind of like motivating me to kind of take it slow. We don't live in the same city. I'm flying back and forth. It's just a whole bunch of like things that I'm juggling, you know, that I have to control. And he just like, but I just want to be loved. It just come off that way. I don't know. It's weird.
Mm. So Vanessa tells Nick that he hasn't really tried to talk to her, so she wants some alone time with him.
Okay.
He pulls her to the side, and he tells her that he has strong feelings for her, and they develop pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. He wasn't trying to do this in front of everyone, but Vanessa feels the same way, and she's happy that she's catching feelings. He actually doesn't want to be there anymore. He just wants to take some time to hang out with Vanessa.
What is your thoughts?
Nick is coming across more and more disingenuous to me. Like I think that he's connecting with Vanessa, but I think that it's not as deep and as quick as he's making it out to be. I don't think he's falling head over heels in love with this girl. Mm-hmm. I think that he enjoys their conversation. They have a good time and they seem to get along. But I think that he has a deeper love for Sandy that he's just kind of throwing on the back burner. Mm-hmm. But Vanessa is not taking up that spot. Like I feel like in any regard, it's like not even close. So
I'm gonna speak from Vanessa's perspective. I think Vanessa's enjoying the trial experience a little too much.
Okay.
I think she likes being wanted.
Yeah.
And it just shows that she was sitting there like, hey, you're not talking to me. Like you're not basically like wanting me. You're not desiring me right now. Like what's going on? Like it was fun just yesterday. Like what's new about it today? And he's using the excuse of like, well, everybody's around. I'm trying to be respectful, paraphrasing. But I think she is really enjoying being wanted.
Yeah.
And being chased after. And I think we're going to see a little bit of that later on in the episode.
Mm-hmm. So we're to Dave and Chanel. Mm-hmm. He was looking forward to seeing Vanessa today, but it's tough seeing her. He's wondering what she is going through mentally and what she's realizing, but he hasn't really asked her where her head is at.
Yeah.
Chanel tells him that he was one of her best dates. She could laugh, talk about her emotions. And, you know, he's feeling a bit down. So she suggests that they smile just to see if they can feel better. They do. They start laughing. And it seems like she helped turn his frown upside down.
Yeah. I have nothing to add to this thing because Dave, you talk all this big stuff, man. You talk all this big stuff about basically trying to put doubts in her head, trying to make her feel a little insecure about this whole experience. And the whole time, you are the one that's frowning. You're the one that feel insecure. You are the one that's questioning everything. And yet, she's the one that gave you the ultimatum.
And I guess for me, when it comes to Dave, maybe we can have a little discussion about it. Like this particular type of guy, he's 34 and she's 30, right?
Okay.
And when they were talking about the ultimatum, how she gave it, he was saying that with marriage, it's just a long decision, something that he really has to think about.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm wondering, does he want to marry Vanessa, or he just doesn't want to see her with someone else? Because it's as though he doesn't even want to have that conversation with her about what it would take for him to get to that point. It's just that he wants to just sit on it, and she just has to wait along with him.
Well, it's obvious, at least to me, that he don't like her, that he don't like Vanessa, right? Because I'm like, you just have to support her, and I'm very big on supporting somebody, right? I think it's just one of those situations to where it's like, I don't want nobody else wanting you. It's just one of those territorial things. But he's not doing anything or haven't done anything based on the stories that Vanessa have told us or told Nick, that like he's not really good at supporting. We've seen the whole time where they all were sitting at the table in the first episode. They barely know each other, barely know the names. We don't know the names. And one of the first things that he said to her during their last night is, "Hey, that girl across from me, I'm feeling her."
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, and now you're over here crying. So, to me, that already showed me that, like, you don't really like her like that. But at the same time, you see, now you value her because you see somebody else value her. So you don't even really value her.
Yeah.
You just basically like, well, she's mine. And I don't want nobody touching what's mine. But I'm going to treat this toy or treat this thing however I want to treat it. But like at the end of the day, I don't want nobody else to want what I got. So that's where I feel like Dave is coming from, because I feel like Dave don't like Vanessa.
I'm wondering, do you think that after this experience, like he would be more inclined to propose to her because he went through all of these emotions of realizing he doesn't want to lose her? Or do you think it would still kind of be more the same of just like, let's just keep doing what we're doing?
Probably.
You think this is more the same?
Yeah, I think he's gonna propose, or like I think he's gonna convince her that, like, you know, I'm sorry and like I changed and I'll be better. I only want you, and like I think a lot of things gotta fall into place. Number one, Nick gotta be 100% over Sandy. If he's over Sandy and he's into Vanessa, I don't see Vanessa going back to Dave. But most of the time, whoever was given the ultimatum or whoever received the ultimatum, somebody between the two is struggling. So if Nick is struggling to get over Sandy, then Vanessa's not going to feel the wanting and the excitement that she feels now.
Right.
She's just going to feel like, okay, I'm going to respect your relationship and I'm going to go back to Dave. So a lot of things got to fall into place for her to go back to Dave. But at the end of the day, I think Dave, he don't want to see someone treat his girl at least a little better than what he's been doing, because he's just a guy.
Well, JR asked if Micah has been with a white girl before. Micah said he's had situations and dealings, but not like for real dating.
Okay.
JR says that he's kind of curious to date one. It's an opportunity for him to be with a white girl. Arya is cool. She's mixed with black and Spanish, so that's like another option for him as well.
I think he already told us what he's about.
And I was just like, that is just so disgusting to hear. Like, it's one thing to connect with somebody over like real connections versus trying to fulfill some type of fetish or bucket list. I was so turned off when I heard him say that.
I mean, it is what it is, though. I actually have a theory about JR and Zaina, right? I have a theory about them. And the more I got to hear her talk, this episode and the next episode, I wonder, does she find her value in being with him? With him being basically the baddie. And one thing that he said, and I think I'm jumping, but one thing that he said was that all of her friends are married. Okay. And she's the one that's not married. So I wonder, because she has eye candy on her arm, does she kind of finds her value of like, this is my man type of thing? Because I listened to her talk, and there's not much there. There's not much there. I don't know if I want to call it airhead, because I don't think there's anything really there with Scotty either. I think both of them are producing a conversation full of nothing.
Yeah.
But I can see her being with him, and she's trying to lock that down with him because, number one, all of her friends is married, and also it also is some type of self-esteem kind of security thing of, look what I locked down. Look at this guy that got the abs and the muscles and the smile and just a good looking guy. So I wonder if that's also part of her motivation, because when I hear him speak, I don't see nothing there either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know what's attracting you to this guy outside of his like external looks. And maybe that's what's motivating her to like, hey, this is a gorgeous man. I need to marry him because all my friends is married. And on top of that, we look good together.
Yeah. Well, David and Vanessa chat. He had a tough week. He starts tearing up.
Really, David?
Vanessa is learning a lot. There are things that she was okay with not having in him. He says that he loves their life together. Well, Vanessa is taking this moment by moment. She's excited for the trial. She's happy with the person she's going to choose. And she has been shown qualities that she likes. And Dave asks her qualities I don't have. She says, not like that. She is truly seeing it as them being broken up, and he needs to worry about himself. Don't worry about me, she said.
Don't worry about me.
Dave said that he can't be here is too much for him.
What else did she say? She says, I'm excited about this experience. And he said, excited?
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on, like, now the tables have turned, you know, where now David is crying, and Vanessa's like, she literally told her ex, don't worry about me.
Yeah. No, I feel like Vanessa is doing exactly what she came here and intended to do.
Yeah.
And Dave, I feel like, just really thought that he would have more options than he does. I thought that he was a lot more confident when he was going on the speed dates until he realized that people wasn't really feeling him like that, and people he thought he had a connection with really wasn't connecting with him. And now he is spiraling.
Oh, yeah. Ever since they played that game Quarters,
yeah,
and he thought like, oh yeah, I'm not feeling Dave. I'm like, wait a minute, like, out of all the times it landed on tails with me, yeah, Dave, I have no sympathy for you, brother, because what you tried to do was you tried to plant seed of doubt in Vanessa's head, and then guess what? Uno reverse. Uno reverse back on you, Dave, and that's probably what I'm gonna name this episode. Uno reverse on David.
Okay, because
it makes no sense for you to do what you did that first night, telling her straight up before you even had a conversation with the girl that, hey, I'm into that girl that was across from us. You seen her? And it's like, now look at you crying.
Well, we got Scotty and Zaina. Their connection has been organic. They have an attraction. Now it's about how would they function together.
Yeah.
She asks if he's big spoon or little spoon. He says clearly big. He usually sleeps in his boxers and she sleeps in panties. She asked his expectations of a wife. He wants someone that makes him feel uplifted and supported, and he likes effort.
Yeah.
Zaina wants her husband to be invested. She doesn't always want to have to be independent. Her husband can take the lead on things. And Scotty says that he's had to challenge his ex in order for him to take the lead, so he would like to do more leading.
I don't see it for them. The only thing that binds them together is they both got partners that don't want to marry them.
Yeah.
Like that's literally the only thing. I honestly do not think, and this is what I'm going to get it right, Zaina.
Yes.
Right? I don't think she sees it as a benefit to be with Scotty outside of these quarters, outside of this experiment. Because I think she is the type to like, hey, look who my man is. And I don't think Scotty do it for her more than JR, in my opinion.
Okay. Next, we have Arya and JR.
Yeah.
He makes her feel protected and secure. She thinks that he is loyal. She asks about his timeline with kids. He knows that women has a biological clock, but he doesn't want that to dictate when he has children. He is totally over his divorce, but in the back of his mind, people are capable of cheating, and divorce is not going to be an option for him moving forward.
Okay.
JR feels that he can be vulnerable with Arya, and she understands him because they have similar backgrounds. Arya has noticed that he has more depth than she expected. She's dated attractive men who weren't emotionally available, and in a way she feels guilty for developing a connection with him. He tells her that he is catching feelings, but he is just embracing the experience. They're vibing, and he thinks that she is trial marriage material. However, he does think Sandy is fun and flirty, and he sees that fire in her eyes.
Basically, she's easier.
Yeah.
That's all he said. And this is probably how JR get most of the women that he gets outside of his looks, because somebody has low expectations on him, and once he proves that he can read past the 8th grade level, they're like, oh, I didn't know you was like emotionally intelligent and things like that. There was nothing he said in that conversation that made me go, wow, JR, you are really like smart and things like that.
I was actually turned off by what he said about how women have a biological clock, but that's not going to dictate when he has kids.
I'm like,
so the person you're with, it doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't matter to you, the person you're with. So if her clock runs out, then you on to the other one who has the clock that just started. So to me, I'm just like, what does that even mean?
It means,
and Arya didn't even pick up on that.
But because Arya, and that's what I'm saying, like the fact that he can prove that he can put together sentences and set them back to back to back.
Okay.
Like, it just shows that, like, that's how he gets his woman. Number one, he is attractive, and then they say that he's smart because he can talk, that he's not just some jock. You get what I'm saying? But she's like, oh, I think there was nothing to you, but now after talking to you, I realized that there's a lot to you. I didn't see it.
But I think he also likes to tell people what he thinks they want to hear. Like, Arya said that she felt there was a connection, and then he said he felt there was a connection.
I mean, of course.
And then she's over here thinking that he's loyal when he hasn't shown any type of loyalty to me that I could see. I
honestly don't even know why, like, she used that adjective, to be honest.
So I think that a lot of people are putting assumptions on people that they haven't gotten the time to actually learn about them. So, well, then we see JR go to meet with Sandy.
Yeah.
They are ready to get lit and order some cocktails. She asks how he is doing as far as like living wise. He says that he's independent. He cooks his own food. He's on a strict diet, and he's a personal trainer, so he has to present a certain way. At first, people were laughing at him for putting himself out there the way that he was. And Sandy says, well, they're not laughing now with the success that you're having. And I'm just like, how do we know he's successful?
Listen.
Nobody's asking questions. Like,
I don't think I would ask, are you successful, though?
Well, maybe because, like, I see he wears designer items, but to me, that don't mean much of nothing to me. No, so, I don't know.
Like, basically what she's saying is look at your body. Obviously, like, because of, like, you have a strict diet and you work out, like, you obviously know what you're doing. Okay. That's basically what she was pertaining it to.
Okay. So there's lots of hugging and touching going on underneath the table. She talks about how she likes being pursued, and she appreciates how affectionate that he is. They are having a connection. He asks her what type of kisser she is. She likes little, lip kisses, but he likes it sloppy. She tells him that if you want to kiss me, you can, and they end up kissing each other. Ew. Something cute, something PG.
No, it was something, right? And he said he's a sloppy kisser, right?
Yeah.
Well, he basically told her, like, I'm gonna spit in your mouth later on. like, that's basically what he said. Listen, he said he never been with a white girl before. So all those stereotypes that's on him about being a jock, he go take all those stereotypes and use it towards a white girl and things like that. I'm gonna spit on you. I'm gonna be sloppy. And listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I did laugh in episode 3 where he used the chains and put it around her wrists and things of that nature. But I'm just like, he just going off of, Scorpio, freaky in bed. Right, fire and passion. Right, he's still using astrology. Right, and then he just going off of like, oh, you're a white girl. Oh, you definitely will let me do anything to you. That's why I'm like, I don't really see what people see in JR when it comes to intellect.
Yeah.
Right. He's using really like dating for dummies, like entry level. It's nothing really very. It just shows that once you're attractive, you can really just say and do anything.
Well, I'm not even going to say that for him. I mean, yes, I think you're right about that. But I also think that he knows what to say and do with what person. With Arya, he's not approaching her in the way that he's approaching Sandy. If he was going to do that, I think Arya would be turned off from him. But he's able to lead these women on because he is giving them what they want,
Yeah, well.
Or what he thinks they want.
Well, Arya wasn't the first girl that approached him. Sandy was. And things like that. So Sandy was his first connection, and the first thing that they connected on was something sexual. So it's like, I think with Arya, I think it's layered. That number one, that do I want to go with something that I've probably done before, being with someone who's black and things like that? Or do I want to check this off my bucket list? I've never been with a white person.
But he
before.
talked about her like it was a plus because she was mixed. So
I think he just being nice.
Oh, okay.
Like, but I think it always been Sandy for him. I think that always been like his.
Yeah, but the thing is, he is dragging Arya along by telling her things that would make her want to be with him. Is he not?
I don't see it. To me, I see it as like. I mean, I guess you can see it as hedging his bets, but the time that I see him investing in Sandy, I don't see him doing that the same with Arya.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we get to the choice.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty and Zaina choose each other.
Yeah.
Scotty said that in his last relationship, he was always fighting to be seen for who he is. He's not a bad person. He does not have malicious intent.
Stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of Scotty talking about himself. Like that's all Scotty talks about. Scotty always talk about what he wants from somebody else, but never what he can offer. That's why I'm like, I don't really believe Scotty when he be talking. I feel like he is doing a lot of like, woe is me. And he's always the victim in every scenario that he speaks of. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what do you have to give, brother? Mm-hmm. Like I haven't yet heard what he have yet to give. Granted, it's only the second episode.
Mm-hmm. Zaina appreciates that he's ready to receive the type of love that she wants to give.
Of course, he's a receiver.
Mariah said that she started questioning what she wanted in a marriage. Mm-hmm. She likes how peaceful Micah is, so she chooses Micah and he chooses her.
Hey, Mariah, don't fall for how peaceful he is. He don't want to talk to you.
Pretty much.
I'm about to say he don't like you like that.
Chanel chose Dave because he's very easygoing, mm-hmm. and Micah is calculated and planned. Dave chose Chanel because she helped to lift his spirits. Mm-hmm. Micah says that Chanel is his best friend, so Dave, make sure she's safe. As long as she's safe, you're safe.
Micah, I don't know why you're crying.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really don't understand why you're crying. This is the experiment that y'all signed up for. You know what I'm saying? So, and was it this moment that made you or convinced you that like, yeah, he really liked the girl he with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then with JR, he's talking about the fire and Sandy's eyes that ignite something in him. Mm-hmm. Sandy and him connected quickly. And Nick said it took a while for him to even get Sandy to open up. So for her to be looking in his eyes and all this type of stuff is news to him. Sandy said that she's not that great at eye contact. Well, Nick says it seems like you're fine with it.
Oh, yeah. He's very good at it.
Y'all both came in with partners who wanted something serious, but if y'all just want something for play and for fun, let that be your life. Mm-hmm. Sandy says that it hasn't been all fun and play. They have a genuine connection.
Lying.
And she feels like Nick is being judgmental. She says, you brought me here, so she is diving into the experience. She's here to figure out what she needs for a partner to be able to commit.
And guess what? I can't be mad. Mm-hmm. That you did bring her here.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, Nick. JR about to smut your girl out. Like that's listen, all his fantasies, all his bucket list things that he could go and tell his friends, he's gonna open your girl up. You know what I'm saying? You know how it took you a while for her to have eye contact and things like that? This whole thing that she's basically gaslighting you with, talk about how we have a genuine connection. Listen, you see what it is, Nick. We see what it is, and she know what it is. They about to get it popping.
Yeah. Do we want to tell them who JR chooses?
We already know who JR chooses.
Yep, he chooses Sandy.
And guess what? We are going to come back with episode 3. Mm-hmm. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see you then.
Bye.